Hello, good evening. Right, I clicked go live this time, so I know it's worked. So thank you, Ali. Hello. Yeah, we did survive the storm. It was just very windy for us. I have a tablet in my mouth. So bear with me a second, because I am running behind as per usual on everything that I do. That's hot. And I'd complain if it was cold, but still, that was hot. So tonight is Burr again. Now we've had the poll up on the community tab for well over a week now. So before I actually thank you for confirming that, Alex. So I can actually be seen and heard this time, which is good. I'm not talking to myself for 10 minutes before I realise I'm not actually live, which is more my speed. Good evening, Twisted. So yes, we have to go. I have to go look at the poll. Let's go look at the poll, which is on YouTube. You buffoon. He's not in the control room where all the cameras are set up, is it? No, he's in YouTube. And it's under my channel, Lazy Mini Painting. I should know that already. And the community tab. So let's have a look. See, we've had a total of 6 votes. Hort, by the looks of it, has had 1. Ermintrude has had 1. Akbar, nobody seemed to like that one. Nobody voted for Akbar. But as a resounding winner with 4 votes out of 6, it is Lavarus. So how do I end this poll? I don't know how I actually end a poll. Maybe I just delete it. Tom, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. Yes, it won't make much of a difference, but if you wish to go make a vote on the name of the bear, it's going to be called Lavarus, because unless another 3 people come in and vote for one of the names, it's going to be Lavarus. So I will end that now. So I will delete that community post, which is linking the name to this, and that is the bear's name from now on. So I'm going to need to make a note of this, otherwise I'm going to forget, even though I know my screen name is Lazarus, and this is Lavarus, and there's practically no bloody difference. It's still me, and I'll forget. So I'm just going to put a little notice, basically write his name on the bottom of his base so I don't forget it now. And it should now say Lavarus. Yay. So now we have it's written on the bottom of the base now. I've still not based it because it's still too cold for me to go out and use my airbrush. And it's too wet, it's too damp, and it's just going to go. I don't want that to happen. It's horrible. Good evening, Joey and Beaky. Good evening, Buzzard. How you doing, man? Now, I have 2 slots. I only have 2 slots for anyone coming up who wishes to speak and talk. So I am really limited on that. So if you do want to come up, you're going to have to let me know so I can send things and then everything out. Other than that, I can't put links in the chat because of how I now do this. So coming back to the actual plan for tonight. Now, I'm happy with the reds and I'm happy with the blacks. But that's not lava enough to me. So when you look at his claws, he's got the bright yellow, he's got the black fading through to the red, and then it comes all the way through to the yellow. So it's the big claws look all right, but I need to sort the fur out. I'm just going to try and get this over to Joey because I don't think Joey's come through this method before, and this is going to be a new one for him. So I want to copy that, open up. My best way to get hold of Mr. Edibles will be through this method, I believe, while I'm on the PC. There he is. Can't miss those glasses. Jeez, that is a proper douchebag look. You were right there. I'm going to send you the link, Joey, and I'm also going to send you the password as well, because you do need a password to get into this. It is case sensitive, so there's the password after it. You see, it does work. It does work. But I have to pay more attention to backstagey stuff at that point. So, yep, just wait for Joey to pop up into here with me, and then I'm good to go with that. But I can still see everything on. I'm all right. I can still see. I just can't see the chat from this screen. I don't even think I've done the basics of show labels. No, I've not even done some of the basics on it. You know who I am by this point, and well, I'm wearing the t-shirt of the person who's coming up with me, so it should be easy enough to know who's who. And Joey's been up here enough times anyway. I've got to remember that he puts that password in. There we go. He's citing that out, and I'll copy his link from there and go over to OBS and find guest. Now, where is guest? I'm not sure where guest is. Whenever I put that in, it'll replace that with that camera. And Joey should be made huge on my screen. Hello, Joey.
Welcome, brother.
I
Welcome.
can't hear you. I cannot hear you. I turn my volume down to ridiculous levels. Try again, mate.
Can you hear me now?
No, I'm not hearing you. Why am I not hearing you?
I can hear you. I can.
Is it a different audio setting down here?
You can't.
It's me.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, but you can hear me.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So that sorts that bit out. And I had this problem with Lee. I've had this problem with Lee before. And yeah, everyone else can hear everybody else, but I can't. I don't know why. For some reason, I can't hear you. So have I got a... No.
What about now?
Haha.
What about now?
Perfect. Right. It was on the other screen and it was muted for general purpose. Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a crazy setting with your Video Ninja.
Well, it allows me to use OBS. So it's free 1080p streaming and I can still bring people up with me. And I've got a nice clear camera here so people can see a lot better of what I'm painting. Yeah, it's always me, Captain. Don't worry. I know that. I know. It's never you. I do have one more free slot, though, if you want it. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to fit you on the screen. It'll probably be the opposite corner to Joey.
You'd be like over there.
Yeah, somewhere over in that corner, because I have to physically put you in a box and resize it. I can make Joey huge if I wanted to, which is great. I could just decide, do you want to know something? Now, Joey's just going to be the star of the show, this one, and there you go, because making big is awesome. Completely block out all the things I'm doing. But for now, I'll put him back in the normal.
The delay on this is longer than the delay on StreamYard. This is like a 15-second delay.
You see, I'm not getting any delay.
Well, no, like not on me and you, but like what you said you did made me big. I didn't see that on YouTube until literally like just now. So like there's a between what we're saying and what YouTube is doing is like a 20-second delay in this, at least from what I'm looking at.
Okay, that might actually be part of my settings. That's the problem. It does allow me to put delays in and stuff like that. And if I forget to change it, then I'm screwed. No worries, Captain. If you're having a drink, having a chill, I don't blame you. I should probably be doing that myself rather than doing this. I've had one hell of an afternoon, Joey. I have had one hell of an afternoon.
I had a hell of a weekend, man. It's been a wild weekend. I'm sick of paying random expenses for shit that, fucking $100 here, $200 here. Oh, fuck, bro. I'm done with it.
If it was something as simple as money, I could probably get over it. But in this case, it's more like I'm living in a fucking sitcom, and not a sitcom, a soap opera. I'm living in a soap opera.
Okay.
Just my little square around that I live in. It seriously boggles the mind. It does. It's just fucking bizarre. Three of us chasing a different neighbour's dog to get it in for them for about an hour and a half. Now we've got the dog. We've got control of the dog. The dog's on a lead now. We just can't get the fucking neighbour to open the door, even though they were there on messages 10 minutes before we all went out to get the fucking dog. Perfectly fine. But now they're upstairs in bed, not wanting. So yeah, it's been fun getting ready for this stream. That's why it's partly late. Good evening, Kate. Good evening. Hopefully, I provide the ASMR that you wish. If not, then I'll endeavour to do better. But yeah, it's actually a fucking nightmare. It was, mate. I've got to say, it was an absolute nightmare dealing with that person. Obviously, I'm not going to start naming names of that person. If you actually know where I live, you will probably be able to figure out which one I'm on about. But if you don't, then let's just say I've got one of those type of neighbours, but I live in a square, so I've got a lot of neighbours.
Damn, son, I got 92 views already on that fucking stand-up set. That's pretty good for shit 2 hours in. I'm liking it. I had a good time there, dude. I did, man. It went really well. It went well. I got my whole ability to just say whatever translated on the stage. I mean, I had my memorized jokes, but I had some stuff and talked in it. It worked good. I just got to get more opportunities, more mics, shit like that, and just keep building it. It's not easy because, like I said before, anybody can be funny. Just comedy is a whole different thing. You got to, you got to get an audience, man. You got to have fucking butts in the seats because some people are like, oh, you'll grow if you're talking in front of two people. That's a waste of my fucking time, dude. I'm 40 years old. Like I say, fucking grade A jokes in front of two people. Yeah. So you got to keep going.
Well, have you not thought about going down to Texas and trying that one?
Going to what now?
Austin, Texas, and putting your name in that box.
Oh, for the comedy mothership. I'm a bit away from that yet. I would say I probably need a good, year or two of there's different shows and featuring headline. Because I'm at best I'm an MC right now. I probably couldn't even feature because I don't have 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So something like that I got to work on.
Well, the comedy mothership's usually just a minute, isn't it? Especially if you're going up as well.
If you get a spot, they're going to expect. What of it offer you, and it's it's all a game, dude. It's a giant game on who you could schmooze. But at the end of the day, my end is if I show them they can make money, they're gonna work with me. But I'm still plenty far away from that yet. You know how that goes, man.
Oh yeah, you got to work your way up there. You got to build your name up, and then your name's got to be supporting somebody else who's got a bigger name, and eventually that your name will start becoming the bigger name.
Oh, for sure. You just need to, one show at a time, one fucking, thing at a time. At the end of the day, I mean, nobody's gonna who's this guy? He talks to people on YouTube. There's a lot of people who do that. They don't see unless they really spent time to look at the show and loved it and fucking, got to know me and stuff like that. It's nobody cares. Whatever.
Yeah, unless you get out and put out a banging joke straight away, it's like, who? You've got to get them, and timing is probably yes, you've got to be funny. You can't be a comedian and not be funny, but we all know funny people who couldn't get up on a stage because the timing's off.
Oh yeah,
and they couldn't tell a joke. I couldn't tell a joke on a stage. My time is shit. I've said funny things and I've made people laugh. Does not mean I'm a fucking comedian by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. It's all just being confident on the mic, knowing the mic, knowing your voice, knowing your style, that kind of shit. It's it's not really that difficult. When in terms of getting up there, when I say it's not that difficult to me, you just got to have a personality for that. A lot of people, because not everybody is gonna remember. After that night's over, people who watch comedy probably watch 100 shows a year or whatever. They watch so much comedy, they're not gonna have time to remember all that. So if you bomb, whatever, you move on and go for it.
In fact, if you bomb, you're probably gonna get remembered more.
Right.
How bad was that one? And people like leaving bad reviews. They do.
Yeah, I got pretty good. I mean, Lep was there. A couple of people were there live with me. We have about 4 or 5 buddies there, and they all liked it. And Hernando was probably the best that he's seen me do. He's been for most of them, so it. I liked it, man. It was good. It was good.
Well, you've ran your own before now, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've ran 3 shows myself and done like 20 mics, so it's not like it's my first time. You know, the key is just memorizing the jokes. I mean, not having to look at a sheet of paper or look at a phone. That's what people like, and I know a lot of people don't think that. You know, they think, oh, if I'm funny, if I'm reading off the paper, look at my phone, or whatever. But I mean, if it's the wit, it's the wit. People like the quit wit. People like the confidence. People like that. Like, it's not just a funny joke. Like you said, it's all about delivery, timing, shit like that.
Yep. There's a lot going into comedy that a lot of people don't even realize. A good evening, Francois. Good evening. I didn't even see you sneak in there.
Women do stand up about being funny all the time. Yeah, it depends. I mean, it depends on the woman, I guess. Yeah, women do say some crazy shit, right?
Joan Rivers is probably the only female stand-up that I will say is genuinely funny. God bless her.
It's hard. It's hard for. Well, it's like this, man. A lot, and I say this. I'm not trying to insult a lot of women, but a lot of women are just not as exciting as guys are. You know what I mean? Like for example, say you had a mom, a standard run-of-the-mill mom. You know, what's the mom going to find funny? And she's going, oh, the kid pooped. Yay, it's funny. And, you know, it's kind of boring for a lot of people. And a lot of comedy is just straight raw sex appeal. You know what I mean? And if you're a girl, it's really hard to give sex appeal without the guys just all, oh yeah, I want to bang here. You know, it's just how the industry is. You know, a lot of guys are, you know, a lot of fans of comedy. It's a very sexual oriented thing. I mean, so it's like, if you got a girl out there, she's got there's a higher barrier for sure. Because, like, as a guy, you just make the girls laugh and it's easy. Then the guys will laugh because the girls are laughing and you're going to go. But, like, as a girl, you know, differentiate between all the guys who want to, you know, do things to you or the people who just actually want to laugh. It's, you know, it takes a special brain to really be able to deliver comedy good. You got to have just a killer attitude. If you go in there, you know, thinking, oh, I'm not going to be good enough, you know, whatever. I go in there like, fuck it, I'm going to have a good time. You know, I mean, literally every time. That's how you got to look at it, because sometimes you won't have a good time, but even if you bomb, you have a good time, you laugh at it, you fucking move on, dude. It's just how it goes.
Yeah. I'm going back to the comedy mothership. I've seen people go on there and that 60 seconds, they have just they've died on stage. They might as well just no. But they've picked it back up with the interviews afterwards because it's nerves. They've gone out there. It's the first time they've ever been out on a mic on a stage in front of people. And you've now got to make them all laugh. That's tough going. And then if your nerves get you, you're fucked. You're not recovering from it because you've got to be, and you got to be on the back pedal. You got to be.
Well, that's why
the audience is going to take control.
People always say that, you know, if anybody who's ever done comedy and they keep doing it, their first mic was at least, you know, good enough to make people laugh, or else you wouldn't have came back for the second time. You know what I mean? My first mic, I got footage of it on the channel, but it was 2017, I think. And it was, you know, it wasn't the best. No, but I mean, it was my first time, and I got some laughs, and that was enough to keep me going. You know, you get that, and you just have fun with it. It's all about having fun. I mean, so many people are afraid of public speaking in general. They just don't. They'll never be a comic just because I'm never getting up there, is what they'll say. You know what I mean? Because it's easy. Like, you know, on Facebook, making a comment, somebody else makes a comment, joking, being funny. It's cake. It's nothing. They can do fucking thousands of those every day.
You've got a good 10, 20 minutes to think of a comeback or a funny
Hey. It's kind of quite easily, you know, but when in stand-up, when literally everybody's staring at you, bro, just looking at you, like, all right, go ahead, clown, make me laugh. You know, I'm not here to laugh, but, you know, if you can make me laugh, I'll laugh. That's a high standard, dude. It really is. It's freaks some people out, man. It does. I mean, it's like
all those eyes, just those eyes staring at you, going, "Be funny, be funny."
What I do, what I was doing a lot of it. It sucks with the camera angle was that because I was looking down, but I would tell the joke and I would just lock eyes with some random person, just telling the joke. You know, and I would just look. You know, that helped quite a bit because it's like, you know, if you're just looking out into space, you know, whatever, just look eyes at one person for a couple of seconds, tell a joke, maybe another person 15 seconds later, etc. That really pops it. Because I mean, it's literally just a matter of butts in the seats, man. Butts in the seats at this point. You know, how am I going to grow in terms of, you know, because I don't have the explicit time to do how a lot of the road comics do. I just can't I can't do 5 mics a week because it's not going to happen, man. So I need to fucking find my special events and make that schedule work, between either me working with other people or just, doing it myself at random things. We'll see. Should be a fun time.
It's certainly an interesting route to take, especially by the time you've obviously, how should I put it? Neither one of us are spring chickens anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best way I can put it. So it's a difficult route to take because you come in. Obviously, you've got experience in other fields of work, but this is a completely different ball. You're going into the entertainment industry here. You're coming from a military background and going into entertainment. It's a big change.
Oh, yeah, we still got snow, Allie. We still got some snow. It's right. It's right about freezing day, about 0 degrees Celsius today. So the snow. It hasn't snowed, but there's still snow on the ground. I imagine 3 or 4 days of over 40 will probably go away. I haven't checked the forecast. I don't know where it's going to be at, but I think the days of -20 and all that bullshit is going to be over with. So that's good.
Well, till next year.
She was cold, right? Yeah, till next year. She was cold, man. It got fucking freezing over the weekend. Or that last Monday. Fuck. Last Monday was like -5 or some shit.
It's you whinging about.
I get the tele. Well, now they're fucking getting rid of the telework now, so it's like I don't know how that's gonna work. Because like all my management friends, the ones that are non in the government, you got bargaining employees, non-bargaining employees. Basically, bargaining employees are rank and file and they're covered by the union. Non-bargaining is like the managers and up, and they're not covered by a union. So non-bargaining is all back in the office as of 2/24. My friend Sue said. So I don't know what they're going to do with us because they still got to bargain it, but I'm sure it'll be right after that, and then we'll see. Because a lot of people have been in the office. If they have been in the office, it's not much.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard getting them back in because you've changed your entire mental state now to work.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your pizza delivery?
I got to turn this fucking ringer off here. Hold on.
I'm all right. My phone's got to block most calls coming through now. Please be used for something.
Well, I had earlier because I got a new battery in the car, so the guy was out here doing it. They've been notified of that. And we're going to that Cavs game here in a little bit. So about 5.
Do you go to every game of theirs?
Well, it's so cheap. It's cheaper to go to the games than it is to watch them on TV because like the app is like $20 a month. We get tickets for like $10, $5 sometimes. So
it's cheaper just to get the ticket and
cheaper just go down there to get out. Yeah,
nip to Walmart, fill your bag up with snacks and drinks, and then go in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. What we're leaving right at about 6, so we'll probably I don't know if I'll get anything down there or not.
Probably I wouldn't be buying anything from within the stadium because they charge you through the fucking nose for that shit.
I mean, it's I might get chicken tenders or have maybe Sue will buy me something. I don't know. We'll see.
Chicken tenders. What is the obsession with chicken tenders?
It's easy and fucking they got them everywhere. A lot of the places you can either get like chicken tenders, a burger, or like 1 or 2 other things. That's it. Maybe a hot dog.
So it's staple choice on the menu then. Just like we know kids are going to eat it, the adults are going to eat it, everybody's going to eat this. Stick it on. Fair enough. If that's the case, then it makes sense. It's just that the amount of times I've heard chicken tenders. What are these things? It's just strips of chicken in breadcrumbs and stuff.
Yeah, literally just fried. I mean, I eat so much between chicken wings and all random other things. I probably eat like fucking 10 chickens a week.
I know, definitely between eggs, definitely because eggs an entire chicken.
I'm focused on chicken wings, so I need the right sauce. Some chicken wings, boy. That's good. Good stuff.
I'm not a huge lover of chicken wings. There's not enough on them, as far as I'm concerned. I prefer a drumstick or, a big piece of chicken. I don't want.
Yeah, you can get some meatier wings in other places. It depends where you go. Not all wings are created equal. I'll say that.
I don't want to be sucking bones off just to get a little. That sounds wrong.
It's half the fun of tearing it into like a caveman, bro. You feel like you're a fucking boss, and you fucking feel that. Finish that plate of wings. You're like, yeah, look at that fucking carcass right there. That was me, bitch.
A lot of bones. A lot of bones. But yeah, I've never been a huge wings fan. No, I don't. I just ribs. Ribs are fine. I'll do the ribs. I'll do chicken legs and stuff. But wings, nah. I'd rather pass. And well, you know me. If I decide I'm not eating something, there's nobody's gonna make me eat it. As you found out.
Yep, he was not having the cheese in the can. He said it was a sacrilegious to cheese, and this did not represent his God and country. So Laz didn't eat it. Everybody else was having fun with it though.
Yeah, don't fucking refuse through principle. That is not fucking cheese.
Well, to be fair, I mean most of those guys were either drunk or on some substances, so they were. It's not like it was a sober room that night, brother.
It was not a sober room, and there was not a single sober person in that room, and I was there, so I know. But yeah, I, despite the fact of how much I might have wanted something to eat, I was not eating cheese from my can.
Yes, sir.
It is these certain things that have been created and then just should not be fucked with.
Right.
Cheese is one of them.
I must use the bathroom.
Not a problem. So yeah, no cheese in the can. No chicken biscuits. Because chickens don't make biscuits. You don't make biscuits out of chickens. So that was another one. But yeah, I certainly was not eating for eating stuff that's like, no, that's not food, You do know that. I'm not putting that in my body. See, what Joey was offering was not chicken. It came in an aerosol. No chicken I have ever seen goes in an aerosol. So yeah, didn't eat the chicken, didn't eat the cheese because that was also in an aerosol. That's just fucking wrong. That's just wrong. And you can argue with me as much as you want in the comment section or in the chat. Squirty cheese is not cheese. It is an affront to what cheese should be. And the company that makes it should be burnt down. All rights of trading should be removed from them for public health reasons. And just don't do it again. It's wrong. Chicken shouldn't come in a can. Cheese shouldn't come in a can. The crackers, I just didn't want to try a dry cracker. Dry crackers aren't nice. Okay, so how much are we looking now? Is it looking a little bit? Yeah, Joey brought a few of these staples from America that we don't get over here. So we had squirty cheese in a can, squirty chickeny thing in a can, and these weird biscuity things. Now Mick T loved them. Mick T was all for it. Weren't going to stop him. Let him enjoy it. I just wasn't. So nope, no thank you, not for me. I'm too British. See, Twist is like, yeah, food does not come out of aerosols. They don't. No food comes out of an aerosol. And you can say, but what about whipped cream? It's not whipped cream. It's gassed cream. I've seen whipped cream. Whipped cream is actually quite dense and thick, and it's really nice. Chicken breast and meat. Yeah, all the roosters, all male chickens, well, most male chickens go in to be fed, to be food. Female chickens go to lay eggs. So technically, every time you have a roast dinner or a chicken nugget or a chicken tender, chicken wings, chicken legs, anything like that, you're eating cock. Just so you know. Oh, sorry, cockerel. Yeah. I'm getting used to my head shakes at me for that one. So we have a little bit more yellow and brightness in some areas. I didn't want to overdo it because I do like the fact that it's quite dull overall. But I did want some areas just brightening up a little to show that it is yellower and not just red and black. And I wanted to get in his ears done as well. So that seems to be okay at the moment. So next thing will be claws, his actual nail claws, and then his feetsies, and then he needs a wash. And his knuckles. They're basically the male version of a hen. Because they can't lay eggs. If they can't lay eggs, then they're useless. Might as well give them for food. Get some money out of it. Quick coating of white over these again, just to even out the actual tone of the white on them, because it wasn't very flat. It was very, very streaky. So I'm going to have to sort that out first. Nice big brush though to make sure it's done quickly, because I don't particularly wish to spend too long doing this. Since I've already done it once, and I just didn't do it right the first time, so I'm going to make sure I get it right the second time. There we go. Foot number one. That's a lot smoother than, I can't even see in there, than that one with the nice big black splodges and stuff that's not looking as good as it should. But again, see how that Pro Acryl for a white, that was a black splodge on there, and that's pretty much gone over it without a problem. I do like these new paints.
Fucking cold, man. I don't know why I'm colder today than I was yesterday. It's fucking warmer today.
Wind chill factor, you're not got enough layers on?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I've got a thermal t-shirt on underneath yours.
Oh, nice. I gotta even find that fucking t-shirt. Anyways, I got a new batch of them things made. Definitely get some more shirts out.
But this only gets worn now when I come on camera, so it'll get taken off after this stream and put on my chair. and then when it needs washing, it'll go in the washing and go back on the chair, and it's here for when I need to use it for a stream. I don't wear it for everyone, but I try to at least wear it on for my Mondays. The models and musings. Walking around with a t-shirt and like this got near my son's school, because on Wednesdays when I go live, it's pretty much just after he's gone to school. So yeah, I'm not walking to school with this t-shirt on. It's primary school, so he gets left at home for Wednesdays, and I don't usually wear it. But I'll try and keep it here for Mondays. And as far as I know, this t-shirt is still available for sale, isn't it?
I don't know. That was just a limited run. I don't.
Is this a limited run?
Yeah, that was one I had printed out, and I sold some. Gave a lot away actually.
Then I'm sorry, I'm special. You're not gonna get one.
At some point, I'll find another t-shirt. I'll get another t-shirt done. It's right. I mean, I'm honestly, it's just pure laziness on my part. I mean, it's I gotta, because I want to keep the cost down. You know, could I just crank out some bullshit and put it on Teespring and charge people $40? Yeah, but I'm not trying to break people. I want to keep it like $20 a shirt, you know, free shipping kind of thing, and that requires some back end work kind of thing. So, yeah, by summer maybe. Who knows?
There may be a new Joey Edibles t-shirt range available. I'm sure we will find out, and he will let us know. As well as posting the link for it in the chat when it happens.
All right. It's not like we don't talk all the time.
We do, and because even with this one, if you want this better, first of all, you're gonna have to talk nicely to Graham, and second of all, you go visit the link in the description, and that's where I got it from. But if you want to order one, it will be smaller than this. That's why you've got to speak nicely to Graham. Because I had to get this was a custom order.
Yeah, you got to give Graham $8 and then a bunch of other money.
Well, you've got to pay for the price of the model, and then you've got to pay for however much more you upscale it. So it's got to cost you more if you make it bigger, because it takes more resin, it takes more time, it takes more everything. So you got to pay for that. It's part and parcel of the service, especially if you're asking for a customized. So I want that one, but I want you to do some changes for it, and I want you to fuck around with it, and I want you to spend more time having to do it than you would normally, and blah 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 blah. You have to pay for that service, and in this case I was more than willing to, because it's a fucking beast of a model. And although I did scale it wrong, it's my fault. Like, it's a lot bigger than it should be, rather than just a little bit bigger than it should be, because I fucked it up. But that's entirely on me, so I can't blame that on him. He did say it does look a bit big. I was like, I should be fine. No, he was right. I was wrong. It was way too fucking big. All right, have I lost something? All right, well, I'm going to catch up on chat now.
I can't even see this. Is there a way to see the chat on this or no?
No. That's one problem I do have with guests up here. You can't, because I'm in OBS and you're in Video Ninja.
Right.
You can't see the chat. I can see it because it's a separate screen for me, and it's linked through OBS. And I don't know how to. Right. Sorry about this, people. Technical fucking around for a moment. How do I make this go on to? No, don't do that. Yep. No, I don't need to. Right, thank you. Back to that little thing here.
I'm watching. I don't know what's on the TV, but I mean, because I always, whenever I'm on the show or I'm on live, I always put on the big screen. Maybe it's not the biggest screen in the world, but I always, the TV in the studio. I always put that on there, and then some other random show plays after it. And it looks like these guys are. There's no way that guy's not British, because I recognize some of them canals, but they're in some kind of boat. And this, I don't know if this is England, but they're going through some kind of underwater stone canal here or some shit. I don't know.
It might be in England. We've got canals going all over the fucking place.
Let me see what this is called here. Taking narrow boats to the best canals, full series. 3 hours, 34 minutes. Okay, so
that sounds British.
100% British.
that sounds British.
Right, we don't have canals over here. We got, there's canal. Well, on the West Coast, I guess they got more canals, but like out here, it's just all riverbeds and lakes and shit.
Yeah, no, we've got them running open. You can go via narrow boat from Manchester to London. I know that.
I saw when I was in Aylesbury, I was kicking it by some of the canals, because like they go all over the place. Well, even in Worcester, I was there, and they had some by Doof, and they had a bunch of canals there. I wanted to jump over to one of them fucking things. It's like right at that spot to where I think I could make it. It's also like I'm in my late 40s, so it's like I don't want to fall in the fucking canal. So I was like, nah, I couldn't do it. If I was in my 30s, I probably would have jumped it.
Yeah, just give it a go. Fuck it. Why not? What's worse that's going to happen? I'm going to get wet.
Right.
It's like, no, but yeah, I'm a bit old for that now. Fuck it. Nope. Not jumping that. See, I've been in. I've landed in a canal. They don't taste very nice. You certainly can't see very much. And getting out of the other side, if you're not prepared for it, can be a little steep sometimes. So yeah, my excursion into a canal, it was a once in a lifetime thing, and I never want to do it again. Thank you. I think I'm just lucky enough I didn't end up ill after it, because it was before they actually started cleaning them out properly.
Yeah, there was in San Antonio, Texas. There's this thing called the River Walk. It's basically like they kind of a canal thing, and they just it's a big river. It goes into like this one mall, but on both sides of it, they got like bars and shit like that. And every once in a while, some dumbass will get drunk and walk right into the fucking.
So fucking idiots. Well, we've got one like that in Manchester. We've got Canal Street, which is it's the gay village. I can't really put it any other way, because that's what they call it. It's the gay village.
Right.
But it's literally just a line of bars and then a canal.
Anytime there's water, there's usually a bar strip near it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, but I'm surprised at the amount of people that we don't get any drownings. No people drowning in it, which is surprising. You'd think you'd at least get something. He's fucked that up. But no, nothing. You would think you would get some people that was stupid enough to go that far, but apparently not. Which is surprising. It does surprise me. What should be next fucking day in the news? 6 people have died in Manchester Ship Canal due to fuck me. And this guy was saying it the night before. He was in range to be able to go down there and get them in time. Fuck. Way to incriminate yourself there, lads.
Hey. Yeah, this weekend went fast, too fast, man. Fuck, I was used to them long weekends. And I know it sounds weird because I got a 3-day weekend, but because that's what I normally get. But like I was getting 4 or 5 day weekends there for a couple weeks in a row. It's kind of nice.
5 days is not a weekend. That's never a week.
I know, it's great.
So how do you get?
Well, if I take a whole day off, though, it's 10 hours because we get 8 hours of leave. Well, I do because there's 3 leave groups, so every 2 weeks, everybody gets 4 hours of sick leave, no matter what. And then every 2 weeks, everybody leave group 1 gets 4 hours, leave group 2 gets 6, and leave group 3 gets 8 hours of leave every 2 weeks. But I work 10-hour shifts, so if I got to take a day off, it's a day and a half, day and 2 hours or whatever. So I can't take every day off. But if you look at it like that, every 2 weeks you get a day off. It's quite a bit of time off.
Well, you think about, but you don't get as much mandatory time off as we get.
We get 13 federal holidays. There's quite a bit of them. It's they're randomly spread out, like from November till February. We get so many of them. We get so many, and then from February until like May, there's nothing. We don't get April, and there's none in May, none in March, none in April. No holidays.
Yeah, but those are national holidays. Everybody gets those off.
The big 6. It depends on the industry. Retail, it's whatever. They kind of open all the time. The big 6 days, we denote them by like major and minor holidays, kind of like banks and post offices and governments and shit like that. They're all gonna be closed on all 13 days. But like major places, they usually close the big 6. You're talking New Year's, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. Those big 6 are the days that pretty much a lot of places close. And even beyond that, a lot of places will just close just on Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's about it. Depends on what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not like mandatory. It's not like, they have to close. Places can stay open.
See, that's weird because we have certain laws that means certain places can't be open on certain days. So
you used to have that years ago, like, oh, no stores open on this day or whatever, but they just, I don't know, it's kind of by the wayside now.
Depending on the kind of supermarket or convenience store you are, on a Sunday, you either must be shut by 4 o'clock if you're a supermarket, but if you're a corner shop convenience store, you can stay open till 11.
Yeah,
all big shops shut by 4. Or you've only got a limited amount of trading. So if you open at 10, you've got to be shut by 4. If you open at 11, you've got to be shut by 5. You've only got 6 hours worth of trading on a Sunday. That's it.
No shit, I was just opposite. Yeah, Walmart opens from 6 to midnight every day.
Yeah, nope, can't. You don't do that. Don't have
very much a 24-hour economy over here.
Yeah, once it gets to 5 o'clock on a Sunday, you're paying extra money for stuff that you've not gone out and got during the day because you've now got to go pay for the convenience prices.
Yeah, it'll drive me mad because I do a lot of my shit on like Sunday before, Sunday before going to office or whatever.
It's ridiculous. Even something as simple as tobacco. If you wanted to buy that from the local supermarket, you've got to go before 9 o'clock because they shut the counter at 9 o'clock at night.
That's insane.
Even though the shop itself's open till midnight for 6 days of the week, they shut that tobacco counter at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I can get tobacco. There's a 24-hour gas station not even a mile away. I can get fucking tobacco 24 hours a day almost.
Oh, you can. You can still go to one of either the convenience stores or, like she said, one of the petrol stations that has a store on it, but you're paying their prices.
Okay. See, a lot of we got this thing called state minimum. Basically, it's kind of socialist how they do the tobacco and booze in Ohio, at least. Like, there's it's minimum pricing. So a lot of these places will just do state minimums. You're pretty much paying the same price everywhere for stuff. You know what I mean? So like even if you get it from a gas station, you know, like I mean these cigarillos, you've seen me smoke those cigarillos before.
They're not bad,
Right?
actually. I don't
Yeah,
mind them.
and it's yeah, they're good. It's like they're 2 for $1.19 at majority of places. There are gas stations that charge more. I just don't go to those places. We got so much retail over here, dude. Like I would say we probably got 3-4 times more retail than you guys do. Just I mean, you trip and you
Easily.
find another store. It's just it's kind of overkill in a way, but like I mean, it's nice because you could always there's so much choice. I mean, you're never gonna not have product to buy. That's why when like you know they have the toilet paper shortages shit like that because people just you know buy everything. There's so much random ass money around here. Old people buying shit, stuff like that.
But that helps with pricing though. Having that choice means that
Oh yeah.
they can't go nuts with the price because the competitors are just going to go, no, we're going to undercut you and take all the customers. So
No,
they
that's why it's
can't
good.
price too high.
All right. Well, the same thing with booze. I mean, it's if you price it, you can't sell like high gravity shit like top shelf. You can't sell at the gas station, but like I mean, they got little shots of Fireball. Anything under 40 proof, you can sell there. You can buy it from I think 5:30 in the morning until about 1 at night, and then they cut it off for like 4 hours at night. Which I don't know really why they do that anymore, but might as well just make it 24 hours a day. Yeah, but it's funny though because like people will literally wait till 5:30. Remember once I took I think I was driving. It was when I was biking to work, and I went to one gas station to get something. And there are people 5:30 in the morning buying booze.
I can believe it. The pub in my town, it opens its doors in the morning, and the people going in buy a beer, and they'll order a slice of toast because otherwise they won't get served. They won't eat the toast. They'll just leave it on the table. But they know they can't order the alcohol unless they order food. So they'll order a slice of toast and 3 pints and just leave the toast.
Well, we got bars that open for third shift workers because we got there's a bar by the airport, Great Road Tavern. They always have breakfast. I like going there because it's got good food. But like you go in there and you'll see all the people getting off third shift, pilots, shit like that, just sitting there having a beer, and all the Ford workers too. Is a Ford plant right down the street, so they do accommodate everybody's drinking schedule pretty much.
To a degree, so you will see a lot of the night shift workers coming off, and I'm guessing they're known now. Like no, that's a night shift worker, that's a night shift worker, and that's a night shift worker. They generally don't make them buy food. It's just the ones that they know that are coming in who just woke up and they're going to be in there all fucking day. They know they're going to be in there all day. So it's like, no, you need to get some. You know, we can't do this. Order some food and then you can get the thing you want. So, toast. Right, okay. £1, whatever. But that now you've unlocked the little bit on the till that says I can now give you alcohol. So, but they do bypass it because these nighttime works that finish at like 7 in the morning, and like normal people finishing at 5, half 5, 6 o'clock, you'd go to the pub because it's a normal time and it's acceptable. Just because they're working at a different shift means that their acceptable time is shifted from ours. As you were saying, it's like, look, yeah, they're finishing then. So that's, even though it's 5 o'clock in the morning for us, it's like 6 o'clock in the evening for them. They're going to have a couple of drinks. They're going to go home, have the dinner, and go to bed by 11 a.m.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. On that note, I must bid you farewell because I got this basketball game. So thanks for having me up, man. And we will talk to you later.
My pleasure. Just hit the little hang up button and it should close it. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you for coming up, Joey. But yeah, the drinking habits of Britain and America, they are very different, but we do have some similarities. I'd say the main difference is we can actually hold our drink a lot better. But I mean, you've got to give it to the Americans. They have the gusto to at least try. I'm not saying all Americans can't drink, but most British people can drink, whether they mean to or not. Just through the sheer fact that they've grown up in this country and you've been drinking since you were 12. Your mum give you a baby shower at Christmas or sticking whiskey on your dummy when you was a baby to numb your teeth. We've been drinking for a very long time by the time we get to legal age, which is not Not a good advertisement, really, is it? No, I don't think it is. So we've base coated the backpack now that I've managed to air dry clay in this section. So that's where the dude was overscaled to be too big for a primary. So air dried clay in it, let it dry and sanded it down somewhat. It will be hidden mostly underneath the bear claw shield that will be going on the back. Technically, it was supposed to go in his wrist, but he's going to go in his back now to cover up that circle section. But that'll be a different part on its own. So make sure I just get the bits that I need to do on this done black. Then I can glue it onto him. And then from there, start putting on pipes. So I'll let that dry. And then come back to the claws on his feet. Well, that's doing that bit. I do like while messing around things. Thank you for everybody who's come to join me tonight. I can't see the number of viewers that I've got. So apart from Ali, Francois, Lee, Twisted, Buzzard, Joey might not be there anymore because he said he's just gone out, and Haid. And I know there's a few of you in there. I just don't know how many. So that's fun for me to try and figure out. Is there an actual way of me to? That's wrong. He's saying there's only 2 people watching. I don't know what's going on there.
It says 9.
And see, Sparkles said she says 9. This is just told me it's telling me 2. What am I supposed to believe? I'm supposed to believe whatever my actual channel says, which is probably going to change to 10 now, because I'm just going to. So I'm just not going to pay attention to that, and you're here with me. That's all I'm going to. I'm just going to take that piece of information, and I'm going to go with it. Thank you, Lee. So it is 9 watching, 7 watching. People have not liked the fact that I've looked to see how many people are watching. Well, sorry, I don't like talking to myself. That's why I want all you lot to be here to talk to me. Make me don't feel like I'm batshit crazy. Even though I probably am batshit crazy. Shh. Don't tell them. Otherwise, they might come and get me. I don't want that. So I'm going to try and get the same effect on these here. I can't remember how I actually did that effect last time. So I'm going to start with painting them all yellow, and then work through orange, and then work through red, and then top it off with black. Then I can at least try, if I wish, to put a burning effect on the base where his feet have imprinted in. Yeah, I know. I've never done that before either, so I'm going to have to be winging that and just trying that for the first time. Won't find out, though, until I try. So I'm going to try. We'll see. I am actually just going to... I've just seen something come up. I'm going to ask somebody who's never been on this channel before if they wish to come up and talk to me. I expect them to say no, but I'm still going to ask them anyway while I'm doing this. I'm going to have to go through Steam this time. Let's see what he says. This is one friend. This is not the friend who did the Necrons. This is the friend who has the Imperial Guard. Still not been painted properly, but he has the Imperial Guard. think it's 7 Lehman Russes, a Baneblade, Torox Prime, and a ridiculous amounts of infantry. And yeah, I know I've just listed off like 8 tanks, but no worries, brother. You go grab. I've still got half a brew, but cheers for offering. See you when you get back. Well, I don't honestly know. If they did take offense by me asking how many people are actually watching, then they took offense by it. There's not really much I can do. So there's probably got a lot of people who don't like my personality because of how blasé I can be about some things. It's like, you don't actually. Well, yes, I care, but I'm not going to force you to do something. So, see, wasn't that you've mentioned Bruce? You've got to take the orders now. Ali's on 2 sugars. Sparkles will have 2 sugars and milk as well, please. She drinks her brews a lot faster than I get mine. Well, he's not a bloody answering, so I'm going to guess that's a no. And now we have yellow. But on top of yellow, I also need a wash. I need a wash. I don't mean I need a wash. I mean I need one of the washes. As well, that yellow dries, I might as well crack on with a bit of the fingernail bits. If I can find the right bloody colour. That's Steel Legion, that's Monfang, that's German Camel Medium Brown, that's Leather Brown. Where's my brown washy thing gone? Oh, it's got to be in the tub, innit? Where have I left my tub? See, there we go. Brews all round, brews all round. Where have I left my paint tub? Look, it's not exactly bloody small. It's a size like 10.5 fire trap shoebox. So it's a pretty big bloody box. So I shouldn't lose it that much. Yeah, there's the box of boxes that I'm going to need for the Magical World of Sparkles Oak, which I hopefully will be starting properly this week. I have plans now on how that's going to work. I have lots of plans how that's going to work. Whether or not they will work is a different matter. But I've planned stuff. And I've used squares and I've used correct sizings and things like that. So who knows? It might just work. And that's Crusader skin. I don't want Crusader skin. I want a brown equivalent of this. There's blood red. I know I've got 2 of the damn things. Fire Giant Orange, Graveblood Grey. Probably bone might work. But I'd rather hard leather. Well, is Crusader skin gonna be too? It's true. Crusader skin might be a bit too ready. Biscuits. Oh, Ali, you've brought cookies. She has brought cookies. Yours isn't loading. The cookies aren't loaded.
No, not for me.
There they are. Look, Ali's brought cookies.
I'll grab one.
Ali's brought cookies. I don't know. I've got a big pack of chocolate Oaties somewhere in the cupboard. So I know I'm happy because I like the chocolate Oaties. I'm looking for a something to put the speed paint on so it will not ruin the thing that I'm using. So in that case, it's going to be this. Now this is the tub where I got all the little bits with. So I'm just going to close that down. So, and then I'm going to use that corner up there just to put a little bit of paint, or speed paint. But out of the three, I'm not sure which one's going to be the right one to use. I'm looking more towards the pallid bone. I was going to paint back white over it and then pallid bone over it and then possibly a little bit of hardened leather right at the base of the. So let's pick it up. So right at the bases here, I might put a bit of hardened leather, but the rest of it's going to be pallid bone. But before that, I've got to paint them all white. Yeah. Spending most of the time repainting and repainting and repainting the same part, just so you can get a nice coverage. Joys. This hobby certainly does have some downsides, let's say. Certain repetitive parts. Especially if anyone's ever painted a Space Marine, you will understand. There's only so many times you can paint a Space Marine's pauldron without thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, why can't they just come in coloured plastic? And sometimes they do come in coloured plastic. They never come in the right colour that you actually want them to be in, but they do come in coloured plastic. Right down the back of that section. There we go. Oh, no. Underside. And then this is. Well, it's where you've got to be careful because I'm now trying to get down the back of the fingers but not touch the blades that are coming right down the back of it. I mean, that's why I'm having to go over the nails in the first place, because when I was painting the blades red, I caught the nails. Claws, whatever you want to call them. I'm calling them nails because it has a separate set of claws around the back of it. And it'll just get confusing if they call them both claws. Or at least confusing for me anyway. Which part do you mean? Do you mean the natural bit, or do you mean the bit that's mechanical, or what? So claws mean the bits that are mechanical, and nails means the bits that aren't. Nice and easy way for me to sort it out. So he's got very white fingernails at the moment. The second hand's going to join him. And while that dries, before I put the speed paint over that, I'll come back to the feet. This brush is starting to separate. I'm going to have to... Which one's this one? This is the Rock Ninja. Okay, I've not had these that long. These were around about November, December, I think I got these. I've not used... I think this one's... No, the black one's the fresh one, which is still holding a point despite the fact that it's at an angle. It's still holding a point. This one, though, starting to separate a wee bit, and I might be using too much paint and not cleaning it enough. So let's go back and make sure I cover that point. Get it back into a point. So it holds reasonably well once it comes out of water. Once you've started with it, it doesn't seem to hold its point too well after that. Oh, you're joking. I've missed a bit of silver. Oh, lead belcher, sorry. And there we go. Already it's split again. See? And no matter which way I'm using it, it's now split into three ways. So regardless of how I'm using this brush, it's just splitting. That is not good. That is not good. So Rock Ninja, you're not doing too well at the moment. I did like some of them, but that one doesn't seem to be liking me. So let us have a look at one of the others. Yeah. This is the amount of paintbrushes that I have. Please don't hold it against me. I don't have a problem. I just have a collection. There you go, back under that. And for the eagle-eyed among you, yes, that was a different franchise. That the cup was on the cup than what I am painting. Let us see if anyone actually recognizes the franchise that my brushes are held in for my brush cup. I'm not showing you it again. If you wish to go back, have a quick look, see if you can figure it out. We'll find out if you were right. Or you could sit there and go, Laz, no, I'm not bothering. Just paint the damn bear, that's what I'm here for. In which case, that's fine as well. Yeah, that's why I've stuck it to one side for now. It'll become a small dry brush eventually. Once I finally get round to organising all my brushes and going, right, dry brush, good brush, dry brush, good brush, dry brush, good brush. I'm going to end up with a lot of dry brushes. But I should end up with at least 2 full sets of, I'll say 2 full sets. Zeros, ones, twos, and a few of the small ones. So a couple of the like 000 or the 10-0 will probably make it into the. I can still use them as detail brushes. Most of the ones should make it as well. I actually take care of the ones better than I take care of most others, in fairness. Because it's pretty much. I mean, this is a size 6 that I'm using at the moment. Is it size 6 or is it size 9? That's a size 6 Winsor & Newton foundation. And even though the synthetics, Winsor & Newton are good. Even for the cheap brushes, they're good. But the cheap brushes still have a higher price range than cheap brushes. Oh, you didn't see it.
I don't think it came up on the screen.
Right. So I'll show you this again. I don't mind. I think Twisted might have some paint in the ferrule, but I doubt it. I've not used, although I'll have to have a look properly. So yeah, you might be right there. He's got some red paint in the ferrule, but this brush, once I've used it a couple of times, see how it's split there? You can clearly see the line down the middle. And then again, it's not supposed to look like that, even if it's supposed to hold its tip and not get that split in it. And even this long bristle one is not split that easily. So it might be a case of that's got some paint in the ferrule. It's gonna be difficult to get it out even with the Masters brush cleaner. Not impossible, it just means I'm going to have to work at it. Yeah, so it's something down in the middle, isn't it? That's why I'm going to have to work it out and essentially sit there and actually make sure I clean it properly. That's a fun job. It's probably the worst part about brushes is the maintenance you've got to do. Because when you think about painting, you don't think about brush maintenance as that much, really. Unless you've been doing it for a while, and then in which case you understand that you need to maintain your brushes, otherwise they just hook up on you. I've just done the palette bone first, haven't I? So let's go back over to this cheeky chappy. do want the majority of it to be around the base if I can. I don't want too much around the tips. Still want them to be relatively bright. So it might be a little dry brush afterwards just over that section. And then a deeper wash underneath to give the claws more of a brown. These don't get cleaned type of thing. It's got stuff caught under his claws, nails, however you want to call them, but nails for me. It's not too far off the yellow either. Which means the brown leather might be needed just to help separate the two. Make it easier to distinguish between the claw and the nail. Not quite perfect, but it's getting there. Any improvement is improvement that I will take at this moment in time. Obviously, adding colour on allows you to move on through and know where other colours are going to be, in theory. Or colour theory, anyway. Use this colour, then use that colour, then use that colour, then use that colour. I'll take the last method and make it up as you go along and hope to get it look up. Oh yeah, Lee's got loads. Then again, Lee's got about 6 desks and about 4 different camera setups. And yeah, he's got brushes on each of his desks. So he's probably got one of them cups on that desk, and on that desk, and on that desk, and on that desk. He's got a lot of stuff as Lee. You have, and don't deny it, mate. You've got a lot of stuff. So much stuff that you've had to turn your loft into your area. I can still get away with it in the living room. Just. Give me another year and I probably won't be able to. Especially by the time I've got the magical world made. By the time I've actually got that made, that's got to be a 10 by 12 footprint anyway. So, Lee posted a picture of his brushes in Discord. I know he posted a picture of his unsharpened blades.
He's just done it.
Oh, he's only just done it. Right, okay. That'll be why I didn't see it. Look how neatly organised they are as well. Now you're just showing off, Lee. They're all like neatly organised and everything. Why don't they get chucked in the same place? Maybe that's why they're not quite as. I should take a little bit better care, shouldn't I? Yeah, I definitely should. Oh, nothing. I can't do it right at this second, so I'm just going to carry on with what I am doing. So in this case, I do actually want a dry brush. And I want the orange. I don't want a lot of the orange, but I just want enough. I want enough to actually go over the top of it, not to completely not work, please. You know, I do actually want you to leave some orange on the thing, which you're not doing at the moment, so I'm going to go do it the other way. Oh shit, that was wild. I really nearly blew that up. Metals, leather, sweaty skin, rusty junk. Oh, jeez. Reflections are just a nightmare. Because as you've listed there, metals, leather, sweaty skin, rusty junk, they all give different types of reflection of light. Now, some of them might be more like the metals of polished steel. might be more mirror based. So you're gonna get a good, strong reflection. Whereas others, they might just take on a little bit of the color of the surrounding of whatever's going on around it, so you're not getting the full. Yeah, it's not giving you a proper reflection of it. It's just absorbing a little bit of the color, like leathers and the rusts, sweaty skin. Then you're dealing with water, which reflects differently on its own anyway, because it distorts images and ripples can make things all over the place. You were almost right, Ali. You're right with the last word. What I have is a mess. I wouldn't necessarily call it organised. If you was to ask Sparkles what I was like this afternoon, looking for the sheets for the wet palette, I still couldn't find them, and they couldn't be anywhere. They can't be anywhere else apart from here or underneath my desk. And I still can't find my paper for my wet palette. Luckily for me, just standard, like, baking paper, as long as it's not too. There's a lot that got like grease proof cover on it. Works just fine. Yeah, so it's a dull reflection of it. So you're not getting that mirror shine. You're not getting the definition of detail that you would get off a nice polished gold armor or something that's chrome. That level of shine, but it's pretty much a mirror. So you're gonna have to paint in the shadows and things around it. Whereas with stuff like leather, rust, you can just take some of the ambient color and just kind of put it over it. It's anything really, really close, like a light. That's when your OSL comes in. But it's only the really, really bright stuff where you have to essentially paint the damn thing twice. And baking paper works perfectly fine. It was Steve F who got me onto this. He's also taught me another method, which is kitchen paper, or just kitchen towel. And if you just fold up a couple of layers of that, about 4 or 5 layers of it, and then wet it, that works in a similar way. Not quite the same as a wet palette, but close enough. And I actually got to try it a little bit when I went up to his. So it definitely works, and there are various different ways you can make yourself a wet palette if you don't own one. You don't even need a sponge. I'm learning bits. See, it's scary and twisted because you're learning new stuff. We've both been in this hobby now for decades. And we're both learning new stuff, new things, new techniques, new ways to do this, new methods to do that. A different brush will allow you to do this, a different style of paint will allow you to do. And it's such a learning curve that it's weird sometimes. Because half of this stuff didn't exist when I started. I don't know about yourself, but things like dry brushing, and you didn't get taught that. You just got taught one big thick layer all the way through. That was it. That's pretty much how you painted. The 2 thin coats thing was like, wow, that was mind blowing to me. Cling film wouldn't work because it stops the moisture. See, what you're wanting with a wet palette like this is you want it to not let the paint through, but it's to have enough moisture to keep the paint wet. Cling film, you'd have to actually put water on top, and it wouldn't allow it to permeate through. So you'd just be watering down. Cling film, not quite. It wouldn't work. That's why you need something that's slightly absorbent, but you need enough water in it so it can aquaplane. So this is, although this is sopping wet, this side never actually gets wet. It just feels cold and keeps the paint wet, or wetter than usual. It's weird how wet. It took me. I'm still learning now. It takes me a while to get used to how wet palettes are working, and I still don't get it right every time. It still causes me trouble. It still causes me issues. But it ain't gonna stop me from trying. Especially when it comes to making sure I clean these dry brushes off, because I like these dry brushes and I want them to be clean. I'm running out of tissues and papers and things to rub it off on. Right, look at that. That's just filthy. That is horrible. That's just come. But it's bringing out most of the paint, which is good. Which is what I want. I mean, I've just run yellow, orange, red, black, and various other. That looks a better lava effect than what I've painted on the Bleeding Bear, and that's just me rubbing off extra paint. More pics in Discord. If people wish to go check them out, that's fine. I will be waiting a little bit longer to go in and check. I found out because Sparkles told me that you put them in Discord. So I knew they were there. Well, I suppose I could just click. Where is it? There. That's not a workbench, Lee. That is not a workbench. No work has been done on that bench. It is too clean. It is too tidy. It has never seen a tool, a paintbrush, pot of glue, anything.
Look at Twisted.
It's Twisted posted as well. Are they just both hard to fast up? I mean, don't take this the wrong way, Twisted, but fuck off. What? Can I have that setup, Sparkles? Can I have one like that?
If we had room, you could.
I mean, he's got enough room to stick boxes above him.
Yeah.
This is getting a bit. They are nice setups. I've got to say, they are nice setups. But I can say that pretty much against anybody can come in here and show me their setup, and I go, yeah, that's better than my setup. What have you got? I've got an old school computer desk. And what do you use that for? Computer, my painting, my crafting, my storage. It is all. You have a whole room. I need more than a shed. I need a basement or a loft, Tally. I need a like Twister's got. I need a whole ass room. Not a shed. I need somewhere that's going to fit a desk and storage and tables. And if I'm going to go that far, I might as well stick 3D printers in it as well. Then I just need STLs and I can do my own shit. Or I just need the correct CAD program and I can make my own shit. But I wouldn't trust this stuff in their shed. I live on the Chatsworth estate essentially, so no, nothing goes in this shed if you want to keep it, because it's going to be bye. Well, we do have a loft, but we're not allowed to use it because the landlord's a dick. So when they come round to check the house, one of the things they do check is that we've not used the loft as a room. So I can't use the loft. I'd love to use the loft because there's enough room up there. I'll take his few cross beams just to give support to the actual thing, and then put some flooring in. I'll put some lagging behind some boards. I don't need to put a window in. Lagging behind the boards. Just nail up some hardboard sheets, put some lighting up, I'll be fine. But we're not allowed to. Now, if it was a council house, I could do whatever I wanted, but it's not. So I can't, which is not good. So there we go. We have fiery clawy feet, have yellowy nails, black paws, fiery claws on his hands, bit more definition and colour to his ears. I just need to catch up on a little. I know I've missed a few silver sections, some lead belcher sections. Down here under his arm. I've missed one there. But before I do that bit, I have this bit. Now it's going to have a lot of brass going into it. A lot of the, actually, it's going to have a lot of these going onto these sections here, and put that. When with the area that the problem is to go, Ali. That's a difficult one. So council houses, yes, you can do a lot more, but to get one now, they're going to move us out of this area. Thing is, this house, as much as I don't like some things about it, some things I could not ask for to be better. For instance, my proximity to my son's primary school. We can set off 5 minutes before he's due to be in, and he'll still be early. My proximity to my local town centre for shopping. No, it's okay. Don't worry, Ali. I'm fine. I'm fine with this. So it's ridiculous close to my local town centre for shopping. I don't have to get a bus or a taxi, even if I've got a big shop. I could just borrow the trolley and I'll have it back before the security realised. So I'm really close to that, which means I'm also close to all the bus stations, all the transport. For convenience, this house is amazing. It's just not very big and has a few downsides because obviously I don't own the house, and it was a council, but they bought it and now privately rent it out. So there are people, some of my neighbours, that have council houses that are laid out the same and they can do certain things that I can't do. But then again, I can go complain to my landlord and go, this needs fixing, this needs fixing, this needs fixing, and it'll generally get done quicker than theirs because, well, somebody's paying rather than the council. So it is pluses and negatives. Space is just the more concerning one for me here at this point. I don't have a lot of space for hobbying. And I mean, I can't use this as my gaming desk and my PC. And so it's now just been turned into my hobby desk. Well, I can't really complain. I've got a hobby desk. There's a lot of people who don't even have a hobby desk. They have to use the coffee table. So I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, technically I am, but these people who have a worse setup than me who have more right to complain. See, 2 train layouts in a bloody. You just like take smoothly. What have I done with my pen thing? That'll do. I need to open my glue. It has closed on me. There we go. Ah, no, that's glue to my fingers and all sorts. Get off. Like dry. Instant set on your fingers. I'm going to put it on here. It's going to take ages. Unless I use the technique. Don't do this at home, kids. When you put a big wet tongue smear down the back of that. And then glue that onto there where it's supposed to go. And now he has his backpack. And I have gluey hands. By near, are we talking American standards or British standards? American standards is practically next door. British standards, no. No. He's in Liverpool and in Manchester. It's no. It's not something that would be convenient just to nip over, put it that way. It'll be a full on, I've got to go there in the morning, spend a few hours, and then I'll have to get a train back at night, which is still going to be another hour and a half, plus bus journeys as well. So we don't live near each other by British standards, but we live next to each other by American standards. If that makes sense. So you think I probably have people that would let me use rooms if I asked. I just don't want to ask them. There's lots of people that probably have room for me to do it. I mean, my sister will probably let me take over a shed. My dad will probably let me take over the spare room, the little room I was using for storage. Even my next door neighbour will probably go, yeah, you can take off this part of my living room. And I just don't particularly want to impose on people. So I do it in my house. Plus, if I'm doing it in my house, you can't really, there's only so much that, basically, there's only one person that can tell me off and say, no, and that's Sparkles. That's it. Anyone else will get told to go fuck. Get fucked. It's my house. I'll do what I want. Well, it's not my house. But I live here, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy with where I am. I'm close to my family. It has its, as I said, the house itself has a lot of advantages. It's just size is its biggest disadvantage, and not being able to do anything about that. Because if it was my house I owned, then obviously I'd be able to pay for renovations and do things with it. If it was a council house, I'd just say, I'm doing this. And then they go, we'll send someone around to check you've done it right. Fair enough. With it being private, we have to go through them and ask them. And if they say no, then we can't do it. And they said no. Fucking arseholes at the end. That was a bit harsh of me, weren't I? Yeah, no, not really. I'm not going to say no, that was harsh. No, fucking assholes. Let us do, we're paying rent. We want to live here. Let us fucking do shit to it. Thing is, it'll actually be beneficial to them to let us, because then we'd actually take care of the house better, because we can do more. And being limited to what we can do in the house means we can only do so many things to maintain the house. And obviously putting us in a position where we're gonna be reluctant to do certain things just in case it comes back. So if anything genuinely needed doing urgently, we're still not we're not gonna put it out of our pocket, because there's no guarantee we'll get it back, because they'll just think once it's done, they can't do anything about it. And we can't really do much about it. So there is that. There's a lot of other little nuanced things that just and get on them. No, it's fine. Are you going to bed, Ali? In which case, have a nice night. Thank you for coming to join me. No, I'm fine. You're aware that if you ask a question, I'll answer it. One of the few questions you can ask that I won't answer is, what is your real name? Not online. Not going to find out. It's Laz or Lazarus. I'm not saying it's impossible to hunt me down. It's just you won't get it out of me from a question. There are some of you that might go, but we already know because that happened. Well, that's because you've been watching this channel for a while and you paid attention and you spotted that happening. So there are some people who do actually know my real name because of streams. Not criticizing the person who said it. It's just I am aware that it has been said. So obviously, being as cautious as I am. Exactly, my name is Laz. But being as cautious as us British people are, we tend not to put too much of our personal information out there. So yeah, I'm Laz. Sparkles is Sparkles. Ali's Ali. Twisted is Twisted. Now, there's people whose name I know, but will still always be referred to as their screen name because that's how I was introduced. And that's a lot of it as well, is how you're introduced to someone, is how you generally know them. So with me being introduced to a lot of you as Laz, you will know me as Laz even if it's in the street. When Spencer came over, and Joey for that matter, so both of them, by the time they came over to England, they knew my name. Regardless of that, they still called me Laz walking down the street because it's how they know me. So that bit makes sense to me. Once you've been introduced to somebody as something, you know them as that, even if other people know them as something else. My neighbor has a nickname. I know him by his first name. I get funny looks whenever I use it off his friends because like, who's that? And it's like, well, it's him. You didn't know his first name. But that's how he introduced himself to me. So that's how I know him. Not as the name that his friends call him. Obviously, there's lots of people who know me by my real name, and they will hear my family nickname, and then they'll wonder what the fuck's going on. So where did they get that name from? So I'm not going into it. It's a family nickname. People who call me that generally will get a very puzzled look from me. You're twisted. You're twisted. That's who you are to me. I've seen your face. I've spoken to you. I've seen your room that you paint in and be harassed by cats, but you're still twisted. Even though we've had separate conversations, not in this format, not in an online for all the people to see. We've spoke privately. Yeah, you're still twisted, mate. Sorry. Same with EB. EB I've been talking to for years. EB's still EB. Or homie now, actually. But that's because the Americanisms have been slipping into my vocabulary. So it's EB or homie. But that's just because I've been picking up Americanisms the more I speak to Americans. Dude was one I always used, so please don't think that that's a new one. Dude's one because I am a perpetual 90s cartoon character. Especially in summer when I have the backwards baseball cap and sunglasses. Yeah, I'm a perpetual 90s cartoon character. So dude is definitely in my vocabulary. As a very prominent word. But most of my friends is like, "Sup, dude? How you doing, dude? Do." But then you get the occasional time when it's chief and not dude. I've not yet figured out what the difference is and why I call some and some others. So some people get dude, some people get chief, some people get homie. Well, homie's mostly Americans, but Americans will also get chief and dude. Americans get all three. Whereas most of my British friends, they will generally only get dude or chief. It's odd. How I use the language is just, I don't think is right in the first place. But what can I do? I talk how I talk. I think how I think. Not much I can do about it. It's the only way I know how. It's the only way I can see things from. And I can only use the words that I know. So, that's that really, isn't it? I hate when he gets little stupid little triangle areas. So he's coming along now. He's got his backpack now. So he's standing a little bit beefier. But now that he's actually got his backpack on, I can think about the positioning for the pipes. Oh, boy. Right. So that's now glued onto place. Now, I can't remember. Is it the big, thick bits that go into the side of his neck? Oh, cool. You've hit 1,000. Congratulations, Lee. Congratulations. That's taking you some work, mate. That has taken you some work. So, big congratulations on hitting that 1K. May there be many more thousands to come afterwards. Right, so that's going to have to go. I'm going to need the thinner one. That's not the thinner one. That's the big thick one. That's the one that's nearly made a mess of the backpack a minute ago. Is this the thinner one? This is the thinner one. Right, okay. So now a tiny little drop on that end, which is going to go into the side of his head. A tiny little drop on that bit, which is going to connect to the backpack. Now, that bit goes into the side of his head, and don't you dare set now. Now you can set. No, don't set with my finger attached. Whew. I'm going to be busy Wednesday. Wednesday is my busy day, which is why I'm live stupid o'clock in the morning. It's go out, get the magazine, come back, do the review, and then out I go to go do Wednesday things, which is quite a lot actually for me. And Wednesdays is more my busy day. Well, when I say that, Wednesday and Thursdays are my busy day. Hopefully, I'm going to get a chance to go help my neighbour tomorrow do a bit of decorating, because he's not very. He says he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's got the shit to do it with. So I've got a rough idea what I'm doing, but I need a little bit of the shit. I've got most of it. Between the two of us, I'm sure we can manage. So I do have some fun things to do tomorrow, and then my Wednesday trips where I go see certain people and do family visits and things. But even though it's difficult to sometimes make time, you do have to for certain people, especially when you know they're not going to get a chance to come and see you. Okay, so there's, see now the pipe. See, he's definitely starting to come along a bit more now, isn't he? With the flames, the brass, the claws. I mean, it's a bright bear now. I'm quite liking this. 6 p.m. on Wednesday. So that's about 1 p.m. Eastern, about 11 a.m. Central, and about 9 a.m. West Pacific time, I think. Just to do some quick American conversions that I'm probably going to get wrong for times. If anyone wishes to correct me on those, then I'll take it because I don't know for definite. Thank you very much, Twisted. I mean, it's taken me, I picked this up at the back end of last year. So, November, I got this, and it's taken me since then to get it up to this point. And it's going to take me a lot longer. I believe I actually ended up entering for the Rogues Den hobbies. They have their monthly painting, their seasonal painting competition for fun. So yeah, I think I entered the Horsey Man because he was finished and this one wasn't. But I can't remember. So I want to get this finished just in case I haven't done the Horsey Man and I didn't enter that. So I'm hoping that I've entered the Horsey Man. If not, this one's going to be ready. Are you on about these parts, Twisted? The lower claws? Or are you on about the yellow bits up there? When you said that they've tied it in? Because I'm still looking at it thinking, what do I add to this? What do I change on this? Is there anything I can do to push it to stand out a little bit more on certain areas and other things? And basically, we're our own worst enemies when it comes to projects because we're never happy with it. It takes somebody else to turn around and go, no, stop there. But if we just do this, just do this. No, stop there. And then when we do, we stop there, we put it to one side and we look back and go, oh, he might have been right, But other than that, we don't always know when to stop. Move you the fuck out of the way. Nightly, how you have a good one. And thank you for coming to join us tonight and have a chat. Talk with us. Generally shoot some shit and just chill. It's a lot of pipe work. Graham, you've got a lot of pipe work on this, mate. You've got a lot of pipe work. A lot of this is going to need touching up because of I don't usually paint in sub-assembly. But in this case, I had to because I wasn't going to get into some of these places once certain things were in place, such as pipes and wires and whatnot. So I did have to do quite a lot of it in sub-assembly. But now, the big beefy metal bear with his pipes leading to his now backpack. Obviously, the two guns will still have to get mounted, as well as the ones that he has on his. Where the fuck have I just done with that blue tack? I just had blue tack. I had a big coming ball of it, and I don't know where it's gone. Well, I do now. I just found it. I just spotted it on top of my PC, but still, I didn't know where it was a second ago when I started talking about it. But it looks like my friend doesn't want to come up and have a stream with me. Although, to be quite honest, he's nose deep in Elden Ring. He doesn't want to come out of it. He's probably trying a new build of some description. Rather than, I don't think he's done a wizard build or a magic build yet, so he might be going down one of them. I know he's done the super heavy tank build. Okay, so let's just lower you down to more of a leveled biting off type angle. And then turn him round. Oh, now you see, I've just noticed something that. That's a lot of glue that's just spilt over into there. See how I've just ruined all that now. So that's going to need a bit of a black dry brush. Making wonderful. That's what I mean by sometimes you have to go back over things and just help clean them up again and bring them back down to certain tones. That shiny bit up there was not needed. So just using the paintbrush and dusting over the areas again just to get rid of the shiny paint. And that's not set. Fucking wonderful. Am I putting that in the wrong way or something? Are you supposed to go that way around? Yeah, you are. That's why it doesn't work. Well, that's a good thing, Twisted, because my projects are all done here with you all watching. So if everyone actually keep track of a project, I just go back and count how many hours I've been doing the stream for. And that'll tell me how long I've been working. It's so much easier that way. I've got to say, having YouTube be able to work out how long I've been working on a project is nice. So that will be me for the evening with the bear. So work so far, we have sorted the backpack out and filled in the section here. So we don't have the oversized man in there. And we've put all the pipes in. So he is fully wired up and controlled by this big power pack now. He is on a rampage. Oh, I've now got to get him to make sure he still balances and fits on this base, which he does. So let's just move that a little bit, and then move that a bit. There we go. You have a good night, Lee. Thank you very much, mate. So there is a little bit of work. I'm going to sort out the eyes, as you can see. The eyes aren't quite right. To get the melter effect from the mouth that I'm going to want, I'm going to have to do a lot of work in the mouth. Clean up a few little areas around this section where I've missed back parts. Then I can start working on the base properly, which is going to need, obviously, a black base coat. And then, as I was talking to Twisted earlier, he put an idea in my head. I wish he hadn't, but he did. So now, before this chappie goes on there properly, wherever his feet are going to be around there, I'm going to have to put scorch marks or things on fire. So what it might be is all these sections get based similar to the Tyranids, which would be like this, with the grassy sections. And then around his feet, I'm going to have to brush some of it off and paint it black and make it look more like it's burnt earth. So that's going to be a new thing. Don't be sorry about it. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a fantastic idea to have burnt earth around his feet. So just the areas around his feet are all going to be burnt away because his lava is heated up, he's burnt out. The rest of it around here, though, where he's not directly heating it up can still have. It might not be the same thing. I might put some tufts on it, or it's just some kind of greenery that I can remove from around his feet and make it look burnt. So that's my idea for that one. But this is him done for tonight. This is all I had planned. He's looking. Oh shit! I've missed a bit of yellow. No. Get a brush. Get the yellow. Get it up in there. And get it up in there. There we go. Some yellow up there at the top. Let's mix that in with a bit of orange. Try and feather around the edges just to soften the yellow so it's not as bright. There we go. There we go. So I'll take a couple of pictures once I can use my phone again and put it up in the work in progress. I know I'm bad at putting things up in works in progress. I am useless at it. I always forget. But I'm going to try and make sure I get a picture of this one in works in progress because he is I'm enjoying this one because it's not standard Games Workshop model. I'm finding I'm doing things on it differently. And some things are a little bit easy because it's not as overcomplicated. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but at least they'll excuse me. It's not nice. So, yeah, I'm having fun with it not being a Games Workshop model, but having to put it, I'm putting it in that scenario, in that universe. It is making it fun to do. Don't go dropping him on any chaplains. I've got 2 chaplains on bikes back there, and they're not. I don't want to ruin them. I like that model. So if you go stand there, because you can only just fit under there, I know you can. And I'm looking for now my square piece of paper. Well, I'll say my squared paper that I did drawings on, which I can't remember what I'm done with. But it's got my work that I'm going forward regarding the magical world, which I'll have a quick chat about now because I know I need to do more work on the bear. I'm just not sure where I should proceed at which point yet. Whether I should go for washes over the metals first or whether I should concentrate on like eyes and mouth next. So I'm doing a little bit of thinking. Yes, it hurts. So while I think about that, I'm going to get the drawing that I did for the magical world and have a bit of a chat about that. So we know what's coming up in the future. But to chat about that means I've got to find a certain piece of paper. And I'm not sure. Is that where that piece of paper is? That is where that piece of paper is. Excellent. So, when I was, first of all, move that out of the way, then raise this up because I'm going to need some room. So I've done 4 basic views. Main one being this one, which is the top down and has pretty much the placement for all the characters, which are where all the circles are. And then you've got the front view. So where this is out will be water for the pretty much one guaranteed must be in water creature. And just behind it will be a bar, which will lead up to this section. And then all this is going to be a mountain. Big dark section, all this is going to be mountain. Which is going to have the rogue-esque characters, like the penguin, and a few of the others that would fit well as bad guys. Then scattered around the main floor and some of the residential areas, which are the top 2 floors, will be the town's guards that I've picked out, like the bunny with the axe, the sheep with the shield, other things like that. But this is technically to scale, so every square is an inch. So yes, that is 10 inches deep and 12 inches wide. The problem I'm going to have now is I don't actually have foam that's an inch thick. I only have half centimeter thick foam. So this first bottom layer is just going to have to be layered up foam. When I do this section, which is the same, which is this section, it's going to be a cutout of a tree. So behind it will be rings from inside the tree, and at the very edge, down like the side here, and down the side here where it's meeting up against the rocks, it's going to be bark. I hope. I am aware I'm making ridiculously easy things stupidly hard, but that's me. So working up, first layers I'm going to have to do, if I can find the sheet. Where's it gone? There, there's a big board somewhere that's like a foot by 10 inches, and how do you lose a board that's like a foot by 10 inches with a big huge piece of blue foam stuck to it? Please don't say that is my phone dying. Just in case it is, I'm going to plug that in there like that. Just in case that was my phone going, do you want to know something? I'm running out of charge. Shit, don't do that. I'll plug my phone in while I have a look for this. Where's it gone? Is somebody winding me up this week? No, there it is. I was going to say, it's something I saw about 2 hours ago. So that's going to be the base level. And I've done one marking out to where I thought the water might be. And then I've done another marking out in case I wanted the water to be a little bit bigger. Now, here's the thing. I do have options because I do want Sparkles on Oak to be front and center on this thing. I do want them to be like right there. So where are you, Sparkles on Oak? Hello. There we are. So in this case, it's those two circles are Sparkles and Oak. But I would like something like a dock or an entryway. That's basically how you get into it, and they're welcoming you into the village. So we have like this chap here looks definitely like he should be in the bad guys section. So he'll be going up onto the mountain somewhere. Well, I suppose the mountain is technically somewhere around there. So he'll be around this section somewhere, just up here. But when it comes to Sparkles and Oak, which are, well, I'm not sure what they are, because they have like leafy ears and they have almost a beaky mouth. But as I was looking, I thought they were goats initially. But then I noticed that there's scales on the head and it looks like a turtle shell on the back. So I think these two are actually little turtles. Now they're Sparkles and Oak, which I'm hoping will go right at the, well, not in the first inch, but within the second inch. Don't you dare drop off and fall. I've had enough of models falling and breaking just because they don't want to stand up for me. Right, lie down there just so you've got a rough indication. So yeah, for them to go about there with, like, if I extend the water to down the front, I can lower it, put a nice dock in, put the sign up above it, and then hopefully it doesn't block everybody else behind it. But if I put the sign at the wrong height, then it's going to block the view from the main layer behind, which is this whole section here. Now, just in that section there, there's going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. well over half of the models that are actually in the collection are just in that section alone. So if I put a big sign there, that's where's the front view? There it is. So if the signs, there we go. So if we have Sparkles on Oak on a dock there, and then I put a great big sign there, it's going to cover the 1, 2, 3. It's going to cover at least 4 models, if not more. Which is going to be like it's actually going to cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to be blocked behind a sign. But if I was to put it higher up, which is why I've written it in there, because there are no actual models that high up that are not put to one side. So you got some that are on the mountains. So I can put the sign up there, but then I need to make it believable as part of the diorama. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to go into it, but I'm in the planning stage at the moment. As I said, I do have the base that I do need to put more. I need to add other layers to build that up to 1 inch thick. So it's the base layer, so I can then cut into it to make the water section, and then the embankments. So fingers crossed it will work. So that's how I'm going to be going ahead on the magical world. I will start with painting some of the models though. So the first models I'm going to probably paint are Sparkles and Oak. I'll work through the rest afterwards as I'm working through the actual scenery and the diorama, because shops at the bottom row, and then the next 2 layers are all going to be residential up in the tree. And I'm going to have to put something for the bad guys to find shelter in up on the mountain. I mean, it can be very rudimentary, like a lean-to or just a very basic shelter, just a cover with a fire in front of it, or a fireplace or a fire pit in front of it. I definitely want the area built into the tree to look more comfortable than the area on the mountain. But the mountain's only going to be 5 foot, 3 by 5 as a footprint, and then 1, 2, 3, not including the base layer, which will be the inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and about 7 inches tall, but that is only on the very back level. So there's a lot of working to do. And so models I'm using next week will still be the bear as I finalize what I want to do with the washes, some of the highlights, and possibly move on to the base. The base has got to take a lot of work on its own. This week at some point I am going to try and start the magical world of Sparkles and Oak, even if it's just getting Sparkles and Oak painted and some way of figuring out how to do the base layer. Once I can do the base layer, I can build up a lot of the stuff around using card and other mediums to give walls, but I need foam really on the bottom, because I'm going to have to etch into it, cut the base sets out. So the final inch will actually probably be flat foam core as opposed to the textures stuff that I've got in here, unless that works out to be better, which I doubt it. I really doubt it. It's going to end up being just foam core. I've got more white A4 foam core just so I can use it. Cut the bases out, slot the base into where it needs to go. But then I also need to go back to the older technique of using the very, very thin, like styrene plates, which are like super thin. Etch the same, whatever's on that floor, etch the same into that, and then attach it to the top of the base. Glue the model onto it, so then when the model goes in and out of the diorama, it's seamless. The floor, it matches the floor. So if this was the case, I'd cut a section out there, glue that section onto the base, glue the model onto that, so it comes out. There would be a hole missing, but when you put it back in, it all joins up nicely again. It looks like it's supposed to fit. So those are my plans going forward. The bear I'm getting happy with. It's taking me a while because I'm, as I said, these techniques that I can do, and then these techniques that I'm learning as I go along. How to do the lava effect is one of those techniques I'm learning as I go along. And I don't believe I've done a bad job. I just don't think I've done the best job of it I could do. So I will be looking. This may have just been a work in progress for a long time. But I'm happy with how it's looking. So washes, few highlights, eyes, and maybe the base next week. And keep an eye out for the magical world of Sparkles and Oak, because I've not set a time or a day for that yet. So I don't. It may be midday for me. It may be late for me, and I don't know what day. But we'll find that out, and we'll figure it out between us all. Because well, you're all with me on this ride, and I'd like your input because I'm a dickhead. So yeah, I need somebody who's sane to actually say no, that won't work. So why not? And then tell me why it doesn't work. Oh, okay. It's odd, I know. But now, 2 hours and 10 minutes. It feels like a short one tonight. It does feel like a short one tonight. I'm not quite sure. Move that way so you can see Steve and Lily a bit better. But yeah, it's a get rid of that logo. As much as I'm going to enjoy doing the magical world of Sparkles and Oak, yeah, a lot of it's coming from my imagination and not from that company that I've bought them from. So, unlike tonight's stream where Rogue's Den Hobbies, if you want the bear, you can go and order one. They sell them on there. They ship to mainland England, mainland UK. I believe he's looking into ways to ship to like Republic of Ireland, Europe, and other places. He's had a couple of brainstorming sessions with me. I don't know if I've been any help, but I've said what I've said, and I can't do anything about it now. But he's certainly looking to expand, so he can deliver to outside mainland UK. So Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, and then over to Europe as well. It's just difficult at the moment because of regulations and restrictions on businesses and taxes and tariffs, and it's a whole different kettle of fish we don't want to get into. So I'm going to love you all and leave you all tonight. As I say, 2 hours, just over 2 hours, but I know it feels short, but I don't want to fill it with nothing. I don't have anything particular to do right now that I have prepared and ready. I'm letting Bear dry, and I'll come back and look at him in daylight just to make sure I'm happy with how he's gone tonight. But until Wednesday, I can guarantee when I get the magazine. Well, I say guarantee and get a magazine. As long as they've got it in stock, I'll be streaming now on Wednesday. Until then, I thank you all for coming to watch me. If you're watching this again on YouTube as a replay, if you've liked what you've seen, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you get the notifications, and hopefully it'll let you know when I go live in the future, so you can pop in and come say hi, come and talk to everybody else who you've heard me mention throughout the chat. Twisted, Ali, Lee, all sorts of different people, all having their own different opinions, and we're all happy to help answer questions that we're able to answer. So you might not always get the answer you want, but you'll get an answer. It's just how you take that answer and interpret it and make it your own. It should be wonderful. So thank you everybody for coming to see me this evening, and yeah, I will see you all possibly Wednesday morning. Well, Wednesday, should I say, maybe like Tuesday night for you. And I'll look at setting up a regular time so we can sit down and create this magical world together as well. But enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good time. Drive safe, and see you next time.